Bitch, this is a mood. Okay, this is my mood all of 2021 right now. I don't have time. Like, that's how I feel, but I'm still giving you sex. Like, that's what it's giving. Like, I don't have time, but I'm still giving you a look. And that is all that I have to give. Like, so I can go ahead and say that it is 2021. If you're watching this, if I'm watching this back, it's the fucking beginning of the new fucking year. And I'm at this place right now where I'm just like, okay, bitch, like you want to pull out, you want to pop out, you want to do some things, you want to make some shit move, like you want to actually see some things come to life. What do you have to change? What do you have to begin? Even more intentionally. Like, I think that I've been feeling a lot of pressure from things from like last year, like carrying over some of the same, like, hold on. Because that's one thing that I want to, or have been working on a lot more is like watching my words and being very thoughtful as to what it is that I'm choosing to say. I guess this may be part of the reason why I need to learn how to edit videos in 2021 so that way I can cut some of these thoughts a little bit faster, like some of the YouTubers like to do. You know, I'm an old girl, so I don't know how to do all that. And I don't know how to do it, but it is something that I'm willing to learn or pay somebody to do because that's the way that I feel, okay? Like, you know how sometimes you are, like, you know, you got to do something, like you got to clean your house or whatever. You know, you got to fix your tire, and you know that there's somebody else that does this like for their lifestyle, like, or you know, to make money, or just like that's a skill that they have. It's like, listen, I will pay you to do that because I know that that is not my strength. I'm also not very interested in trying to learn how to do this either. um so yeah, I'm definitely that type of girl. Anyway, I'm in 2021 right now, and this year really already feels like I have so many things I want to do. Like, I can already see some of the dreams and some of like the lifestyle and some of like the work and you know my practices and like all the aspects of me like coming together into like one beautiful little like being. And now I can continue to just like put energy into that and see how it grows. Like, I have an opportunity. I'm getting ready to do like this manifestation dinner. It's gonna be really awesome. I've been putting together like the plan and stuff like that. I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes because it's also just like, girl, you do these things in your life like on a regular basis. So like bringing it to like another group of people is going to be dope. And then imagine what that could be like, you know, like later on down the road. So I'm like, this is going to be really, really awesome. Um, and I can also see just like other opportunities that, you know, are on the horizon. I don't know where they're going to be coming from just yet all the way, but I am excited. Just so that way we are aware, because, you know, I am fine. This is just my mood right now. Like, mama is tired. I've been putting in hours like watching my doggy nephew for the last for the last like week at this point. So I feel like a tired pet parent right now, you know, going to take for walks and like making sure the dog's okay, making sure the plants are okay. You know, I still have been kind of like congested. Like, it's been a little worse lately, but that's also because I haven't been taking, I need to like start taking medication. Haven't gone to the store to like go get the medication I need. You know, going to the grocery store these days is like really hard. I don't know about you if you're watching this, but like going to the grocery store has been like really, really difficult for the last couple of weeks, probably since like right when December started, which is like all the energy outside. Like, I still don't even want to deal with it. But I did go to the grocery store for the first time a couple days ago, and I was just like, glad that I did that. Not trying to do that again anytime soon. But you know what's interesting is like I'll pay for something like to get the house clean like here and there. Um, but will I pay for Instacart? And why will I not pay for Instacart? But why will I pay for delivery food? Like, it's just like, I don't know. The way that I operate is so stupid. It's not stupid. It's just very interesting, and I need to get very more, or much more, very more. What the fuck, girl? I need to get much more like regimented. The word discipline is something that has been like coming up a lot. And basically just like being more thoughtful about like where my money is going, how I'm spending my time, the days of the week that I am doing things on. Like, today is Monday. I took my whole Monday and I basically was just like, I need to rest. I hadn't really gotten any time to just like sit in the house all day and just like do stuff for me. Like, today was the first day I had time to journal. I got to get up in the morning and like do like my meditations and like my prayers and stuff like that at like 6:30, and then had time to like go back to sleep and then get up, and I was like, okay, like I actually like how this is going, like I should do this a little bit more. Or if this happens again throughout this week, I don't think I'd be too upset. Like this was actually a good start to my day, because sometimes you like, I call them layovers. I had a little layover this morning, and I was like, oh well, maybe I can do a little something in this layover, whatever gets this week started really well, and whatever is going on at the job that I do, like I can get to that tomorrow, and everything else that I need to get done can get done like, tomorrow. Like, I'm not rushing. I also needed to work on some like emotional things that I had going on, because I was very much in my bag and in my feelings about just like the things that I'll put it to you like this. Like sometimes we expect things out of people because we feel as though they understand. Slow it down. Okay. Sometimes we expect things out of others, and we can't put that expectation on them, especially because we've seen how this person or how these people or how this job or whatever, we've seen how this entity, this energy operates regularly. And because of, our own perception, like maybe we see it with a different like set of eyes, because we, feel soft for this person, or we feel some sort of like, we feel a little guilty sometimes, or we feel like, oh, I really care about you. And sometimes we look past what we really need to be looking at, and we make excuses, and we don't have to make excuses anymore. And I'm not making excuses for anybody anymore. Not now, not ever. I also have been realizing that I have been spending a lot of time like putting my energy into places, or into people that, I don't know. It feels like I don't get the fulfillment in the same way, and I'm trying to figure out where's that coming from. Is that because like I am being guarded with these people? And it's like I'm not being guarded with these people, but there is something that is stopping me from getting to this level of like having that that deep of conversation, or just like unlatching everything. It's like, no, like you have to have certain people at boundaries or at walls, and also keep in mind how you meet certain people and like how you connect. And it's just like, don't force yourself into places. And even as I'm saying this, like my mind is like, you're saying too much, you're talking too much, like, you're revealing secrets. I'm like, I'm not revealing any secrets. Like, I think there has been, and this was something I read on Twitter about like overthinking, like over explaining things. And I'm not trying to over explain, but I'm also trying to give justification and like background information as to where all this is coming from. What I've noticed is I have been putting a lot of energy into people that don't deserve it from me. Not that they don't deserve it from me, because it's not even that. I've been putting it into people with an expectation in my mind, even if it's something subtle, of receiving some level, a specific level of like conversation or connection back in return. And I don't get that. And then I feel like shit when I don't get it, but I don't feel like shit at the same time. It's more about like, oh, well, this just shows you how this person is, and you cannot rely on this person to give you what you are searching for, that you are lacking at this moment. So don't allow yourself to get caught up in trying to force an energy or force a vibration that doesn't naturally exist there. And you can't be upset with that person, but you also don't have to allow this, energy, this situation, this person that you care about to take away from you, and make you feel like something is wrong with you because of how you feel. Your feelings are valid. Your feelings are meant to be felt. And on top of that, this helps you to also recognize where you may have been kind of like either shortchanging yourself with other people in the past, or you've been kind of like letting certain energy like slide that doesn't necessarily work for you moving forward, because that's not the standard. Like you give, like I give 150%, like every single time that I can't, like even when I don't have it, I still give 150%, which is why I'm doing this with a congested nose, because I wanted to give myself 150% right now, like because I needed to talk this out. And it's just like, I cannot allow anything that is not giving me the same in return to be in my space. And that just makes me think about like me setting like the standard, and me like, setting boundaries, and, me having like a baseline of like, I should be getting paid for, I should be getting taken care of as, like, but then it's also just like, what matters? Like, it's not always financial. It's just about like feeling like what I'm putting out there is of value. I love being able to help. I love being able to be present. I love being able to, like, be of service. And I love being able to do what I do. And I love being able to be present for my people. But then there are times where I feel like it's taken advantage of. It hasn't been in the same way that it was in the past. I will 100% say that, because I feel like, especially when I first like started with stuff, when I first started doing like healing work, like especially in, social media and things of that nature, I felt like I was putting a lot of energy out there to kind of just like be received by anyone, because I wanted to kind of be seen as somebody that was here to guide, and know that there was an availability to like reach out to me, but then also having to recognize that too much availability makes people believe that you're always ready to tackle stuff. And I have to set those boundaries as well, and that's a hard thing for me to learn, because I always want to be there for people, and sometimes at my own expense, and that's not good either. And that's something that I have had to learn a lot over the last couple of weeks specifically, or just like recognizing some of like my conversations with other people, or people that mean a lot to me. And I just want to make sure that I am not doing that this year. Like, I'm really focused on giving myself the best. And I'm still trying to, I guess, like, depict what that is. But I know that I have a lot of work to do. I know that I have a lot of goals. I started writing out some intentions. I did that on New Year's Eve. I wrote out a bunch of different things that I wanted to like bring into this new year. I also did like a little full moon cancer release session, to think of some of the things that I was like letting go of, and some of the narratives that I'm letting go of, because it's just like I've told the story so many times that it's not me anymore. It's part of the journey, but it's like I'm so distant from it that I know what that energy is, but I'm not there anymore. And I don't have to use that as, it's not a crutch, but I don't have to use that as, the reasons why I do everything. It's like, it's part of the launch. It's part of what made everything began, but it's not where I am, and I don't want to live in that story anymore. It's like, it's part of the journey. I've been having a lot of like, little things that have been coming up back from either A, when I was in high school, or B, when I was like right out of college. So like those really drunk times. And people like to recount some of those stories of like when I used to be a hot mess, because if you knew me from before, but we're not even gonna go there, because it's just like, for me, that's just a very distant time, and I want to keep it a very distant time, because I don't think that I'm fighting with that demon, or fighting with those same sets of demons in the same way. They come up in different ways, like, of course, because life is cyclical. Okay. But it's all about rebuking those demons before they get to that place, and knowing what tools you have in front of yourself in order to be like, hi-ya, and chop them at the knees. So that's where I'm leaning into my truth, and leaning into just like my cleansing and my shadow work this year. And I guess that's something that I want to like start really diving into, like the understanding of what shadow work is, and what shadow work has been like for me, are just like, basically like working through our anxieties, and working through our fears, and working through our frustrations, and what it looks like in order to be able to live with the shadows, or live with the frustrations, or live with that reality sitting next to you, and knowing when you can counteract against it, and knowing the things that help you to kind of like not get triggered by the shadow in the same way, to show how you have healed. And sometimes those shadows show you some of the unhealed portions of you, and I think that some of the unhealed portions of me that I'm still having my little like moments with, is about like external perception, about like how I live my life, or what I'm doing, and whatever, or a certain standard that I feel like I have like created in my mind as to how I'm supposed to be like living, or based on like my lifestyle, what my projected lifestyle is. And this is me just like talking to my fucking self. Maybe me thinking that I have to like act or be, or like can't do, or whatever, and I just kind of like roll through that in my head and notice how dumb it sounds, then I'm just like, bitch, as long as you're your fucking self, like, that's all that really fucking matters. Because, bitch, you're still young, you're still, learning, you're still doing what you need to do. It's not like you're letting these things like derail your life. Ooh, that's a word, because that was what used to like happen all the time, like me getting fucked up, and me being fucked up out here, and not doing what the fuck I needed to do. And listen, I'm a bitch that likes to be on it. Like, I'm very organized. And I just need to be even more organized in 2021. Wow. So this is the perfect example of what it, I wish that like people can watch this and be like, this is a perfect example. This is a textbook example of working through your shadow work. Because it felt like that, and also like raising your vibration, because that really helped me to like pull myself out of a place. Like I felt like I was talking and I felt like I was like cycling through or in this space of like, I know that, you know, uh, I'm not who I used to be, but I still am. And I'm proud of who I am as a whole. And I'm also like, still ashamed of some of my shadows and still ashamed of some of my like shortcomings and still ashamed of some of the things that I'm working on healing, or working on being okay with as who I am. And what I just realized in that moment is just like the more that you are in, like perfectly you, like and just vibrant, and have always like I've always been honest and I've always been truthful to who I am, and I've always been truthful to just like how I feel, and that's been my superpower. So it's like as long as I continue to do that, I can do anything. And it's all about sticking true to my own habits and my own energetic flow. And I've done this already once as far as like being very in tune. So now I'm at this beginning again and I know what to do. So it's like I say this with the understanding of like I know that the very beginning of January is always a very slow time for me. It's kind of like I have documents that I can go back and look at. We're in a different year, different energies, what have you, but I still can kind of like know timeline wise when things are going to start picking up. So like taking things easy right now, as I should be. And then by the time that first new moon of the year hits, that's when things start picking up and you're like, okay, like I got some things to do. I'm ready to work. I'm ready to start hitting stuff. And that's why I'm starting to like get some of my things together. I really want to like work on my website because I know my website is still functional and I'm still fucking paying for it. And I've been realizing where I've been spending so much money in the last year. Like I've been working to get money, where it's like I should be working to save money and pay things off and just like be more intentional with the money that I do have so I can, make sure that I secure more. And I've never learned how to budget very well. Like I've worked on budgets. I've had multiple budgets in my life. And have I ever stuck to them? Probably for like a month or two. So I really want to work better on the skill set that I need in order to stick to a budget and what that looks like. And I know that that's also going to probably have somebody else invested in my life in that way. So like figuring out what that looks like and, really taking myself seriously. Like I'm ready to take myself seriously as an adult, whatever that means. Actually, I know what that means. Basically, like doing the adult things. Like I feel like there was a time where I was like cosplaying as like child in a adult's body, and then I think I turned 31, and then I was like, okay, like now you know some things. Like now you can do some things. Like I want to start having a night routine. Like I don't have a nighttime routine for like my face and my like and stuff like that. Like people have those things. I don't know what that is. Like I need suggestions for like skincare things, and I want to make sure you know what I'm saying. Like I'm taking care of myself, and I'm like do the, I have my little yoga routine. All that is something that I did start doing. So like I have like this one-to-one yoga practices that I've been doing to just like incorporate some movement into my life because I've been noticing that I haven't been dancing as much as I used to. Like I haven't been listening to music and just like flowing like I used to in the same way. Just feel real creaky. And I'm like, no, girl, like you got to get it together because you got things to do and you ready to shake and you ready to make some things happen. And like you take yourself seriously, finally. So like do the damn work. Like don't just sit in, the trenches. Like, and it may look like I'm doing a lot to others, but I feel like I'm not doing enough at all. And I could be doing more. I could be so much more organized. Like I know that it takes a while to be like a well-oiled machine. And I'm like doing, a lot of like the oiling on my own with a couple, help with the help of a couple of my friends. There we go. With the help of a couple of my friends, listen, because I speak so damn fast. I gotta slow down. I'm working on that this year. Slowing down a little bit more to make sure that I can process and also the people that are listening to me can get what I'm going out there. But when I get excited, bitch, I get excited. I can't help it. So I pulled for a yearly spread a couple of days ago for myself, and January is supposed to be all about the Two of Cups. Now, I know this is all about partnership and duality and all this other type of stuff. And I don't know if this was supposed to be a sign that like this whole month is going to be about how like fucking lonely I am and, how I don't have like, some people have like those friends that they like cuddle up with and like you have like a struggle cuddle and stuff like that. a struggle snuggle, as I've heard it called before. I don't have anybody that I can struggle snuggle with. And I would like to have that, but then I'm also just like, these bitches, like, well, not these bitches. Who the fuck am I gonna struggle snuggle with? Because that doesn't exist in my life. And if it does exist in my life, it's not somebody that's in New York or nearby. So I need some nearby, struggle snuggles. So I'm knocking on wood and manifesting that in 2021. But I also did realize that I put a lot of energy into relationships and into love, and that's one of my like shortcomings. That's why I like stop doing love readings, or really don't like doing relationship readings for people, is because I know that in my life that is a sore spot for a variety of reasons, like seeing it with my family growing up and just like how love kind of like broke up. Because I'm one of those people that had their parents divorced and in their adult age, and then my own like relationships and how like okay. The one that I was like the most like into slash connected to is the person I have like no connection to like whatsoever. And the people, relationships have just been very weird for me. And I feel like being gay, being black, being from the South, dating was weird. And I also felt like a lot of the times when I was dating, there was like half of me that still wasn't accepting who I was fully, like as as a nigga who loves niggas. And I am not at the same place anymore. Like there's a different level of acceptance, like, and a different level of love for myself that I feel like I didn't have before. And I still am working in some areas and some arenas to just like appreciate who I am. Because listen, there was a time where I didn't even want people to see my legs. Like I still don't want people to see my legs all the time because I still got the eczema and stuff like that. But like, nude pictures and stuff like that. Like, who the fuck is sending nudes when you got eczema? Like, nobody wants to see that. So it's just like there was always a struggle to just like appreciate all of this. Um, and now I'm like, girl, you were complaining and whining and all that stuff, and you had it good. You've always had it good, and you look good. And it's like, there's things that you want to fix. If you want to fix them, do something about it. And I'm like, girl, if you really want to manifest like some new, oh, that's the other word. I was saying like manifest, but it's the truth. Like everybody uses manifest like very loosely. And when I think of the word manifest, I'm like, okay, like I want this, but like, what am I doing to like bring this into my life? Like, how am I like actualizing it? Like, how am I making it real? What are the things that I need to do? And it's like, if you want to, get your teeth done, because I definitely want to get like a teeth whitening and stuff like that because of my bad smoking habits and all of, my history with all that shit. So just like doing stuff like that, I don't want any like plastic surgery or nothing. But I do want to like figure out how to get a little bit more actually no, I do love being like a little thick, like because I'm like men. I think men love that secretly. Like I think they love grabbing onto a little something. Like yes, it's cute to have abs, and I think that as men, we are so accustomed to just like look at other men like whoa, like body. But I'm also like, girl, like that's cute and all, but you could get all of this, and this will keep you warm, and it's also got a little like tightness to it and stuff like that. So like I don't know. I don't want to. It's like on one end, like I have thought about body goals, and I've seen body goals, and the body goals that I've always wanted have only been like chesty, like army, and I'm also kind of like dainty. Okay, I am dainty, and I like to keep that illusion up. Like I'm a hard bitch, but I'm a weak bitch. No, I'm not a weak bitch, but you know what I'm saying. Like I'm just like I don't really want to be doing like all this. I don't know. I'm having conflicting feelings as we can see right now. Like I want to have a little but then I'm also just like I love being like So I'm like, what do I want to do? How do I want to look? And I probably should have like a vision board for all this other type of stuff. But like I don't like doing stuff like that. Like, can I just lust after men on social media and like be like, I love that you have that, and that's cute that you have that, but I don't have that, and that's okay that I don't have that. I'm just gonna stick with that. Sounds good to me right now. What is the rest of this week looking like? I have to work tomorrow for sure because I did not show up today, and it's not gonna be that difficult. I'm claiming that in advance right now. It's gonna be simple. I'm gonna knock it out. I need to get a haircut. I need to figure out what the fuck I'm doing with my hair because actually I don't even want to pull this shit off, but I just am over it. I want to do something different to it. I don't necessarily know what I want to do to it. I definitely still have the same color hair. I think I want to just like cut it off at like a certain point and like just let it like grow again from like where the red was and maybe just like start from there. But I also think that I could dye it and then cut it. Maybe. I'm not sure. Give me some suggestions if you can think about it. I also thought about it at one point. I was like, what if I had like a little like, because I do love when I can put my hair up in this. Like, I love imagine that I have like a little bun, but I'm not getting no hair extensions or nothing like that because I'm fucking lazy and I don't take care of my hair. Like, that's why I don't. That's why I have my hair covered all the time like this now, and I think that's probably the style I'm gonna go for because I don't mind it. I actually love having like something to cover my head, kind of like this, and I'm probably gonna start like making things because one of my cousins actually, I was on a family Zoom call on the first, and I had my little T-shirt because y'all know I be doing my little T-shirt or whatever. I make it to a little head covering. He was like, "Why did you do that?" And I was like, "Oh, because I didn't want to put on a hat and I wanted to keep my head covered." He was like, "Why?" And I'm like, "Just it's just a thing that I do." He's like, "I'm like, and I don't want to spend any money on like a white hat." He thought it was cool, but he was trying to clock me. My dad's side is shady as fuck. Um, but yeah, so I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for my aesthetic this year because I want to upgrade it and do something a little different. Like, I want to invest money and invest time and invest my energy into like upgrading like my physical sense. Like, I want to be dripping in diamonds. I want to be dripping in gold, silver, only jewelry, because I really don't care about clothes for real, for real. Like, clothes and me, I'm a jewelry girl. I don't know why, but today I decided to put all these on. I got some really cute ones for Christmas from some of my online gaming friends. We did Secret Santa, so it was really cute. I've never done that with them before, and it was really sweet. It's always nice to know, you know, I have people all over the world. I was talking to somebody the other day about like how, shout out to Andres if he watches this, about when we know about energy and understand how energy flows, like it doesn't have to be something that's physically in front of you. Uh, how there's a grid all over the world, right? And it's just like if you have your different prayer partners or your different like energy, like people that are just like sending prayers like all over the world, and that means that you have that energy that's kind of like protecting you at all times. And I feel like that's what kind of like keeps us here in the physical sense sometimes. Even if, and especially like when we ask for prayers and when we ask for protection and when we're praying for our people and we're putting our candles out and doing our work and whatever for our folks and shit like that, like I feel like that is when you have that in so many different places because of the love and the legacy that you've led, that's what keeps you like here in this physical or allows you to kind of like have assistance with your manifestations, with your desires. Because it's just like there's multiple people that are convening on your behalf, and that's powerful when you have multiple angels looking out for you. So I think about that and how grateful I am for anybody that like I've connected to in this way. You know, that's this is also gonna sound really weird, but I'm like learning how to just like understand what an acquaintance is and like what a friend is and like the difference between that and all that type of stuff because I will get caught up super, super fast. And everybody's a friend to me, but I also have to understand like separation and like boundaries because I sometimes get overwhelmed. And I only can really keep up with like myself, and I can barely keep up with my fucking self. That's why I don't have any pets because I can barely keep up with my fucking self or kids. I know one day I would like a child, but like today, absolutely not. Not today. I was gonna say I have children, former students, former kids, my they children. You know what I'm saying? Like my friends got kids. Like I'll deal with that right now because I can barely take care of me. I just want to be the the cute little gunkle that travels around. You know what I'm saying? Like he's always on a little healing trip. He's helping the girls out here. I know that I have so much work to do, God, this year. Like I know I have so much work to do, but I'm doing a great job so far, and I have to give myself that credit. So kudos. We're gonna do some great things this year. What else? Because I also noticed that I got like into my groove a little bit after I like start talking. I get really nervous. Like, not I don't get nervous. I just need to warm up. Because it's like I'm not in front of the camera all the time as much as I was once upon a time, and when I was forcing it sometimes, but still following my intuition. And now it's like I follow my intuition to come and talk now, and I feel better. I feel excited. I feel great. Like grateful because I'm like I'm gonna be able to share this with people that's probably like, what's going on with you? Like, where's he been? Like, we don't hear anything. I dropped like a Beyonce album, pop up out of nowhere or something. But yeah, I'm gonna look into like stuff throughout this week as far as like what guidance is coming up because this is all like reset week. This is very much like getting back into like routines, resetting routines, and like the reset of the soul as well, and like you know, recommitting to like yourself and reset, recommit. What was the other re that I said? Uh, Rest, because that's what it really fucking was. Basically, it's just all of that like in 1 week, and that's kind of like what I have been like focused on. So I know that I'm gonna probably want some additional guidance to talk through some stuff. So I may get at you guys sometime tomorrow. Don't quote me on that. We'll see how the energy goes because things is crazy out here. I think the moon is in Libra. Moon is in Libra, so that may be definitely why I've started recording. What time did the moon go into Libra? Because we know that I also have my other phone, so we're going to take a trip. Ooh, this is fun. I was about to say, we don't ever get to go on trips when I talk to you guys or talk to myself, because I really be talking to myself. So let's see. So the moon, oops, listen, I'm moving all over the fucking place. See, this is why I got to get editing, because I would like to cut that out. So I'm paying for both these phones. That's why I figured this is a smart time to fucking do this. So the moon is in Libra tomorrow, or it's in Libra at 12:41. It says my lunar return is on Wednesday, which is my best friend's birthday. However, let's see what the moon app says. Yeah, the moon does say it's still in Virgo. Well, I guess I was fucking wrong. Guess I was wrong, but that's okay. It means it's coming. So I'm like, I guess it's, you know, my energy is coming back, which is good because I could use it. Okay. Now I'm done sounding congested for the evening. Girl, it's going to be a great year. 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 It's going to be transformational. I will not be the same person that I am right now at the end of this year. I will have 10,000 times more financial abundance, good credit. Okay, what else I need? Let me get my magic wand. What else I need? Come on. That's how you know it works. Love. I feel like as soon as I like did that, I could breathe a little better. But we're not going to focus on that this year. We're just going to let it come to me if it's supposed to. I hope that you guys understand, like, when I talk about, like, people be in my inbox, but people really don't be in my inbox. It's like, I don't be getting, like, I don't be talking to folks, and, like, we don't be connecting like that. So it's like, I just really want to connect with somebody that connects with me in the same way. Like, I would really like that. But I'm also not about to force myself to look for it in the same way. I want to continue more as far as like my specific like practices that I'm really good at. Like I'm really good at candle magic. I'm really good at making spiritual baths. Like, and I really want to like start doing those things more intentionally. Like what I've been doing is like recipes. I need to start really paying attention to the candles that I sit on and like certain dates and like have a candle journal. And I need to like start being more intentional with that type of stuff because I do it for other people and I have so many results and stuff like that. And people saying, you know, great things about like the stuff that I've done. And I want to like, sometimes I forget because I always like second guess, like, are you really doing this for folks? Are you really helping people like get out of their way or remove blockages and all that type of stuff? And I'm like, yes, girl. So I need to like trust that. And I'm ready to be in magazines. I'm ready to start writing some articles. I need to start writing more if I want to have some articles. So I need to get into that. I just need to have a better schedule. I need to really make use of the person that's been helping me, like my administrative assistant. Because I definitely got to get things in order. Discipline is one of my keywords for the year. And also because Colin had told me, where's this damn thing? This is this is how I do, you know, go down a spiral of thoughts. I need the language of Libra and the focus of Capricorn. So speaking about my feelings and focusing on the things that I need to do because I am so unfocused a lot of the time. Ooh, watch your words, girl. Sometimes I get distracted because my mind is in so many different places. So I need to make use of the time that I can focus and what I'm doing in that time and being very intentional about it. it's going to be a great year because I can already feel myself like catching myself with some of the things that I'm saying. Also, one of my eyes is like, this eye has been like a little lower than the other one. I was like having pain in it. It felt like I couldn't like see out of it the same way at one point. And now it doesn't feel the same. It feels like that sometimes in the morning. I also was visiting that dog for the last couple of days, and I have not seen the dog in 24 hours. That could be it. Also took that spiritual bath today, and that definitely took that out of the eye. Girl, universe is universing, okay? But that's where I'm going to end. This is the G-spot. I haven't done a G-spot in 2021. Listen, because I was struggling to do a G-spot in 2020, girl, especially at the end. But I did have a dream that I needed to, like, set up and do this. So this was my manifestation of that, like, or, like, my little dream coming to pass. Maybe there's another one that I'll see. It'll be deja vu. But that's it. That's all I got. That's all I got. We'll see how this week and this month, this year goes. But I'm claiming abundance. I'm claiming partnership, duality, dualities, all of that.